My father refuses to read it, honestly speaking. My mother had a heart in her mouth while she was reading it. She was like, Avi likhta, Avi likhta, Avi, what is wrong with you?
Many, many congratulations, Tahira. And I think it took the 12 commandments of being a woman that got me to speak to you because I had been waiting for this moment for very long. So, what was it about this lockdown that you decided to? This is your fourth book, right? So, how did this come about?
I think the lockdown really was an impetus for me to do something because I had all the time on my hands. This book definitely was, it was there. We had to do it, but I had to deliver the manuscript towards the end of the year. But I had all the time, and I thought, let me just get into it. And I just went into this writing frenzy mode and completed my manuscript pretty much in time, and I think in a couple of months, and I just submitted it, and here we are. So I think I made the most of as much as I could of the lockdown and of the time that I had.
And it's so relatable, yeah, because I could relate to many things. Whether, it's you've described like how our time we did not ask the boys for their name if you had a crush on him. It was a very secret thing, that how you hid things from your parents because parents do not understand. So in your acknowledgements, you thanked your parents who underestimated their daughter when it came to boys and other things. So now, do they know the truth? Have they read it and saying, "Eh, bhi kitna si?"
My father refuses to read it, honestly speaking. My mother had a heart in her mouth while she was reading it. She was like, Avi likhta, Avi likhta, Avi, what is wrong with you? She was like, apne in-laws nu to chhad dena si. So, I think it's because now I sort of think, I think it's brave because I'm living with all these people in my environment right now. And so I sort of, whenever the conversation about book starts, I just excuse myself out of the room. Like, I don't know which book is coming and where is it coming and who are the characters in it.
Awesome.
But, but yeah, man, I think I've revealed a bit much. And yeah, they do. I think the world might like it, but my family is definitely getting the palpitations.
So over what? Because I love it where you've told like how, after you got married, your mother-in-law getting you laundry and saying, "Menu bhi thongs pasand hai," and then your parents going out and you're having this party for your friends, which didn't turn out the way you wanted it to. So there is a whole lot of people also mentioned, which were the two instances where your parents were like,
"Oh my God, is that?" So I think, when I said in my acknowledgements that they underestimated, because honestly, like, they thought that perhaps they thought I'm hopeless. They didn't think that I could actually get some action. I don't know what were they thinking, or maybe that's how parents feel, that they become ostrich and they feel that, this my daughter can't do, or this one can't do. And they pretty much would have done it during my age, and hence maybe they just want to turn a blind eye to it. And then, but what do you expect if your parents are out of town for a day and then you have the entire house to yourself? We tried to make the most of it. So it wasn't a party, it was a triple date, as cheesy and bad it may sound, but there were three of us trying to hook up with each other so not amongst each other. I mean, so there were three couples, for heaven's sake.
I know. आजकल कुछ भी possible है.
आजकल कुछ भी possible है. And each his own, of course. There's nothing wrong in that. But we did not go that way. It was not a sort of a group sort of a thing. I don't want to use the word. But it was, we were three friends who were dating another three boys, and we had them over at the night, and then of course the rest is written in the book as to what happened and what actually transpired and how much action we actually got.
I know.
Yeah, that happened. And yes, when it comes to my mother-in-law, she did gift me red lacy lingerie, and I've also added a bit of a thong, and that was the most embarrassing part about. So I think tragedy or problems or obstacles or these things in retrospect become funny and humorous and embarrassing situations. So most of these situations are embarrassing, and most of it would be felt by us. I mean to say, like you said, about that boy crush, like if I can't tell my parents because they will not be able to understand, and not because they'll judge you, but perhaps they might just ban you from going to your tuitions and living the normal teenage life that you would. But here so all of that.
I know, and also tuition class, prank calls, landline number pe. Been through it all, though 10 years before you, things don't change for girls from...
Yeah, the Gedi route still
I-
exists. We're talking right now.
I shot the Gedi rule for MTV and I was like, ye kya hai?
Wow.
And was, you know, so, and also does Ayushman know he was called Coolio in the tuition class, and for the longest time you thought ye to Abhishek hai, but it unfolded like a movie, yeah? Land up in the house and you see your crush.
Yeah, it was pretty much a Teja moment if you've seen Andaz Apna Apna. And, there are two Tejas, and one person is Amir Khan is looking in one direction and Salman is looking in another direction, and they're talking about ye wala. But that was exactly what happened with us. So, that was a time when we had 70 kids in one batch, and everybody wanted to become a doctor or an engineer. And so sadly enough, I was in this. So only one good thing was that we found each other. That's the only positive thing about this. But apart from that, I don't know what else did we do. I don't know why did we take those tuitions. Yeah, but both of us aspired to become doctors. I'm so glad that we didn't, and people can live longer now. Yeah, so me and my friend so every tuition we had a crush. So, like biology had this guy, chemistry had this, and physics had this. So at physics, this was the guy who was there, and we didn't know his name. And
law of attraction hona hi tha na.
So then my parents just said that, there is this family dinner, and so we go and we see this photo hanging of the guy, and he's walking also. So I am looking at the photo, and my friend is looking at him and coming. So it was a very, very Bollywood, it was absolutely that. So yeah, man.
Awesome. Do you still call him Coolio or no?
No,
does he know his name was Coolio?
I'm the cool one now.
Certainly, yeah. You certainly are. And actually, who's the first person to read your drafts in the family or amongst friends?
Him only. So, I whatever scripts come his way, I think I would like to believe he shares it with me, and my scripts or whatever I write, I share it with him. So yeah, when he was going through my drafts and through my chapters, I could see, that he's raising his bushy eyebrows, and he was like, hey, ye bhi likha hai, ye bhi likha hai, ye bhi likha hai. And in between, I need to say, he was laughing, smirking, but then in between he was also getting, stressed ke ab kahan ja rahi hai ye baat, bedroom tak to pahunch gayi hai ladki.
I know, bedroom se lekar ab sabko bata diya.
So what
Sare ghar ke dho dalo.
Absolutely. So, but that's the beautiful part. I think I was, there is as much, there's suggestion from each other's spaces to each other, but there is no interference as such. So we both do have our own voice, and my book is a proof of that, because it's pretty much unfiltered and brutally honest.
Yeah, I agree. And I love the thing by Shah Rukh Khan saying that it's just awesome that you made out while watching my movies. Who thought San Sana Sana of Ashoka?
Yeah. Nice. Actually, soundtrack to बहुत सही था. Creates a complete
sexy
vibe.
And picturized also really well.
हमने वो एक ही बारी देखा. Rest 11 times.
Too
we
busy.
Don't know what we were doing. We're too busy, studying in the theater, single scene theater.
But I actually have really loved it. But out of the 12 commandments, Tahira, which is that one commandment that's still work in progress?
Amongst these commandments?
Among these commandments.
So मैं देख लूँ कौन से commandments है फिर से एक बार. What is the work in progress? Did you notice how strategically I've kept my book there?
I know. I also have it.
So sweet. I think maybe perhaps 4. Small towns have many laws. It's hard to break them and be a rebel with a cause. I think, and it's just not small towns. I think as long it's a patriarchal setup, there is always going to be people having a sort of a, an issue with a woman speaking and having a voice and having an opinion. And once she does that, it's termed as that she is a rebel. But I really wish that definition changes, because the other half of the population can also have a mind of their own. Yeah?
Absolutely.
I think that's work in progress.
And now talking to you, reading your book, also you shared your experiences in the past, and you've had your own journey. But are you one of those people who knows what she wants in life? Like, because a lot of us keep wondering, हमारा mission क्या है? मैं procrastinate करूँगी, ये करना, वो करना है. How is it with you?
Yeah, for most part of my life, I have been very, very confused. I was dabbling. I have shifted so many jobs. Matlab, went from one job to the other, to the other, to the other. And yet, each time I did well, I just put in my papers. There was no joy. And I thought I'm this fickle person. But clearly, like you said, that each one of us does have a mission. We do have a very significant life. And you would understand these words even more. And I'm talking about it. But I got that sort of a clarity when I took up to a very beautiful practice. And I think every philosophy that empowers you, makes you realize that you have the key to your happiness, and lets you and tells you to have hope, and also that you can change the circumstances that you're in, and then you don't need to be defeated for the rest of your life. I think that philosophy really makes sense. So to each his own. For me, I found that sort of understanding from a beautiful philosophy. It's called Nichiren's Buddhism. And henceforth, my way of thinking and perception, it completely changed. I started giving more emphasis onto the things that I've always loved. They've always been in my life, but I sort of put them away during my own insecurity. So it's basically work in progress is also when you're working on yourself almost on a daily basis, and fighting your own demons, and fighting your own complexes that are deep within you. So I think my journey has really been about that. And as in when I was dealing with every problem that I had internally, intrinsically, clarity, like, sort of, it started unveiling, my joy and my mission started sort of unveiling itself in a very clear version, which is writing. And I've been writing ever since I was 5 or 6, but I never gave it that much of importance. And yet till date, when I'm unhappy or happy, the first thing that I do is write it down and put it. So it was a source of joy, bliss, solace, everything. I think that's been I have been lost most part of my life. But I'm good right now, and there are days that I'm lost today also. But yeah, we all are lost, and for as long as we are human, we are going to be. But I just think the awareness that everything will be okay, I'll figure it out, is more now than it was ever. Earlier, I felt that if I'm defeated, it's going to be forever. But now I know it can switch, it can turn, I can turn it also. The awareness has set in now.
That's so inspiring. And you spoke about insecurities. I'll be very honest with you. When I see you and Ayushmann together, I was like, this couple has swag. They just complement each other. Perfect fit. But in the book, you have spoken. Like, you couldn't relate with the on-screen stuff that he had to do, whether it was kissing, making out. Yeah. But then you finally found your peace. But I'm sure a lot of women who have husbands playing the leading man have to do a whole lot of stuff, go through this. How easy or difficult has it been for you?
Honestly, it was more so, I always made it about him, that, he's doing it, this is not good. But once you make it about yourself, and you need to figure out, I need to change. It's my journey. I need to evolve. Things become better, I mean to say, there's more understanding. And I always lay emphasis on, his actions, and this is what he is doing, and, this is not a right thing to do. And, but that's an art form. What is he doing? He's performing. He's an actor. He's supposed to do that. And today I am making films. And if I want my lead actors to sort of make out, that they will. It's not as, we have grown, as our cinema has grown. We no longer have 2 flowers coming in and 2 birds coming in. We do have ways of expressing love and romance. And it's a part of human anatomy. The actors are doing their job. So I think it was not more about him. It was more about me. It was me changing myself. It was me evolving as a person. And yes, I did have a whole lot of insecurities, to such a level that they had a deep impact, not just on my mental happiness, but I had a sort of a juggernaut effect on my well-being. So I ended up having IBS and depression and sadness, and everything just kept going up and accumulated. But then where did it all start from? My mind and me. And who can be the solution provider? Me and my mind. So once you have that awareness and that knowledge, and then you start working towards it, it becomes better. And then when you think, yeah, it was not about him, it was about me. I had to, it was my journey. I had to evolve as a person.
Was it ever a stage that he had to tell you, like, Tahira, aaj mujhe romantic scene karna hai? Or he was like, nahi bataun?
Yeah, so, of course now we discuss everything, but there was a time when, because obviously you get scared when you see a woman is going hysterical at home and it almost throws you out of the house, and she's pregnant and she looks like a whale. She's 20 kgs up, and here she has a baby in her tummy, and yet she is screaming and shouting. Anybody in their right senses will be like, "मैं बताता ही नहीं हूँ उसको, मैं तो बताता ही नहीं हूँ." So I've been through that, yes. And I've also been at a place that I want to share with you, and that's not a part
Please
of the
do.
book, where I was the one who was giving him comfort, in the sense there was this movie that he was supposed to do. And I think I should be writing more about it, but yeah, I'll tell you. So there was this movie he was supposed to do. It's not, it did get made with him. It was called. There's a lot of problem in scheduling and whatever. Something happened, and later on somebody else did it. But he was doing it with Bhumi, and so one of the scenes had a makeout scene, and so they did it, and and I was there. It was in Amritsar, so I was there. I had come with my kids and my parents too. So all of us were there enjoying the lovely delicacies of Amritsar. And so I was like, "Acha, aaj kaun sa scene hai?" So he would tell me this is aaj kaun sa scene hai. So I was like, "Aaj kaun sa scene hai?" And he was like, "There's just and then he spoke about another scene, and I was like, I know this man for the past 18 years. I know it's today. So today is the day they're going to make out. So I was like, I'm not going to go to the set. Usually I used to go to the set, hang out a bit, and then I used to come back. So the entire day, neither did I call him up, neither did I go to his set, because I didn't want to make it uncomfortable for him at all. And so at about 11:30 or 12, I went. And the moment I went, I reached, everybody was like, so scared. Hey, why are they having this expression? And when Ayush came out, he saw me, and then I saw him, and then, I was like, abhi tak nahi kiya na? He was like, nahi, abhi chal raha hai. And both of us started laughing. I was like, wow, what timing. Matlab, I didn't come the entire day thinking that it'll be over. And now I've reached, and he was like, I am at it. I was like, okay. So I was in the other. I was like, I don't want to make this uncomfortable. This is you need to do. And so I'm just showing the journey from feeling uncomfortable to actually giving the comfort and that space to your partner.
That's so important.
It has been a journey for me, truly.
True. And also, another thing about you, you inspired so many women, because one says the C word and people think like, ab to barbad ho gaye ho. Not many people understand it's curable. It's a lifestyle disease now. You gave so much of hope. How did that change you also? Because I'm sure that also brought about a change in you. And of course, you spoke about your obsession with cups, and then
yeah, that obsession has always been there. And I just come to realize that after you've read the book and you've seen the marriage chapter where my relatives were also obsessing over it.
Creams.
So so it's clearly it's a universal obsession. So it's just not me. So sorry, I lost track of the question.
But how did that change you? And you've inspired so many. You #cancer warrior. You're giving hope to so many people who actually think the moment they hear it, that it just could be the end of the road for them.
No, I honestly didn't feel like this way before cancer happened. I'm just talking about being a person, and from the secular point of view, I was the most, I could have looked the most happy person on the face of the earth, because a lovely job, I was teaching at the time, lovely kids, harmony at home, lovely husband, parents, everything going well. She has no reason to be upset, and yet I was so unhappy, I was depressed, and that was and I was defeated at that point of time. And there was a shift of perspective when I was introduced to this philosophy that I told you about. And so when cancer happened, I was so strong in my practice and faith that shift in perspective really helped me sail through. And that feeling of being defeated didn't come. And in my, I think it's moment to moment determination. I'm sure, your these tendencies, whatever you have, I mean to say, if you've thought ill about yourself or someone and you have a tendency to do that, so these tendencies keep coming up, keep growing and keep surfacing. So I think it's a moment to moment struggle and a moment to moment determination. So I think once I set my determination that whatever it is, I'm going to deal with it in the most joyous way. So whatever came, I think that was the kind of life state I had.
Awesome.
But one more thing, when I started talking, and I acknowledge that I'm operating from a place of privilege. I have the education, I have the means, I have the hospitals around me. I live in a city where everything, in Bombay, there are good, well-developed hospitals. Um, when in my conversation with the doctors, I was really, really surprised to know that a lot of women feel that they have brought it onto themselves.
Yeah.
They feel guilty about it. They feel ashamed about it. The topic is so much, there's so much of taboo and stigma associated with it that don't even, after even observing a lot of symptoms, they are so ashamed to sort of go for a mammogram. When I came to know about all this, and personally knowing such cases that have actually gone wrong and it costed the life of an individual just because it is taboo, I thought, this is not a good enough reason for anybody to suffer this much, just because the mindset of the society or that family is like that. So that also was a very, very big incentive and an impetus for me to share with the world. I never had the intention to, honestly speaking. A lot of us have a lot of problems and we don't sort of talk about it in the public. And this perhaps would have been one of those issues that I wouldn't have spoken about, and life would have, I would have been at this stage and I would have said I have had a short haircut. But when I saw all that happening around me, just around me, while I was getting my chemotherapy done, while I was talking to my doctor, while there was another patient who was right after me and before me, and the doctor would tell me, this case got just spoiled because of this and because of that. That really I felt, maybe this is my mission. I need to share early breast cancer detection with the world. True. Because then not only is it, like you rightly said, not only is it then treatable, it's curable. Absolutely. But the idea is to report. And no matter what age you are, I was 35 and it's fairly considered young, but which goes on to show the unpredictability of life. True, whether you're in 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, I think we need to respect that and be proactive when it comes to our health.
True. And I love the way you embraced your bald plate like Persis Khambatta. There were many times when I see and you kept saying, I love doing this.
I know, man. I just, you saw that? There was some interview.
You kept doing this. I was like, she's so cool, man.
I used to get the feels. I was like, ye bahut sahi hai, ye bahut sahi hai. I used to keep, and it became a comfort zone. The stubble that starts coming, and then I used to just keep doing that to myself. And it was, I could actually go off to sleep just doing that. Awesome. So, yeah, man. So no, that was also one phase, and I didn't prep myself up for a bald look because usually that's not considered to be beautiful or feminine or an attribute that women are supposed to have. They're always supposed to have long hair, let alone short, and bald to bhul hi jao. So that was a society that even I was a part of. That still is, but I
agree.
But my experience just says that if you change, people around you also change. If you look at yourself with different vision, I think you sort of radiate that vision onto other people, and they also start seeing you with those eyes, or at least they pretend to, or whatever it is, but at least you are happy. And so I had gotten a wig made for myself, and there's absolutely not judging anyone. So whatever gives you happiness, if a wig gives you happiness, if short hair or going bald gives you happiness, for me, going bald gave me a whole lot of happiness, swag, and sexiness.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, Star Trek banate. I mean, that Persis Khambatta, after her, you carried it off well. So anyways, quickly wrapping up, if you had to do something in your life again, what would you do?
Again, there's so much to do for the first time. Why go on a repeat mode? Let me just do new things in life.
What is it that you want to do?
I still haven't, I was a very adventurous person, but after becoming a mom, my heart has become a little small. So I still want to do skydiving. I haven't done that. I want to be able to finish around one full solid good book in a day. I have not been able to do that. I have been wanting to go solo hiking. I've been there, but I've not done just my entire hiking trip alone and unexplored and organized. I don't want to organize it. I just want to go with the flow. But when this world becomes a little more kind towards women species, our hearts will also become stronger, because all these things that I've mentioned, most of the adventure stuff, the men just do it. And they don't have, it's not their wish list. The fact that it's a part of our wish list just goes on to show that we really need to work on our society and the safety measures for women.
True,
So,
I agree.
yeah, this is all that I want to do, and much more. I think as and when you evolve, your dreams and goals also keep changing, and there are new things that come in your life. So I'm waiting for all that.
Awesome. And if you had to store your favorite memories in a box for immortality, which would they be?
My trip with my husband and my kids, the last trip that we went to, and somehow this trip we have done few trips before, but we just realized that how important life is, how we need to cherish each moment. Life is so unpredictable. I think some experiences teach that to you, and so you start valuing something so normal even more.
True.
So yeah, we've started valuing moments together more. So yeah.
True. And lastly, something you've discovered about Coolio, which is Mr. Ayushmann Khurrana, that you didn't know in the 17 years that you've known him, in the lockdown that you've discovered.
The lockdown that I've discovered.
Or anything. Or has Coolio changed over the years? How cool is Coolio? Is he still Coolio?
No, he is definitely, I think all of us change. I mean, so you can't be the same 17-year-old or 18-year-old, and, you know, you do keep changing. And I'm glad that he has evolved over a period of time too. So I'm talking about my insecurities and complexes, but he also, you know, like I said, it's a patriarchal setup, and both of us were studying in college at that point of time. And we had dated for a couple of years, and he was like, you know, we need to get married. Whenever we do, we'll get married. And he was the one who broached this topic first. And I was like, yeah, sure, like, why not? So he was like, okay, once we get married, you will not work. And I started laughing. Like, I wasn't even offended. I just started laughing. I was like, what? I was like, I'm getting the same education as you are. I'm getting the same privileges as you are. But after marriage, why is it that and now when you go back to it, and he also squirms like, oh God, why did I have this sort of a thinking? But I don't blame him. You know, you're born into that sort of a setup, even if it's not in your immediate environment in the society. But what goes on to show how adaptive you have been is that he's come a long way. So today, I don't think this thought will ever even remotely come to him. And this is even before we had a daughter. So it's not just because now we have a daughter, so now we're talking about equality, all that. But it's an evolution process. So yes, in terms of this, he's come a very, very long way. And all of us have. So yeah.
Lovely talking to you. Lastly, since you're also a filmmaker, will we see you directing a movie with him? Both of you? Directed, written by you, starring Mr. Khurrana? Anytime soon?
I think I need to get over with my obsession with women first. I think I'm so attracted in the sense, I'm so obsessed with them and their stories. And that's also because there are as many stories that you've heard or seen about them. Yeah. And there's so much to be explored. And when it comes to writing, pata nahi andar se bas nikalta hi rehta hai. When my protagonist is a woman only.
It's awesome, yeah, what you write.
So I think once I get over with that obsession, I would love to get on to stories concerning men too, but as of now, there are a lot of stories around women that are brimming inside of me, and are there in my laptop. So maybe
I'm looking forward to reading that, and such a pleasure speaking to you, Tahira. Well, keep them coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye. Thank you. Take care of yourself. Bye.